and welcome to Active Bryant Fitness Systems on YouTube. Thank you for clicking on the video. Please subscribe. And this video is all about strongman training. Now, I've got a strongman in Southampton who's a really good friend of mine. We talk all the time, we send each other books and stuff, and he is phenomenally strong naturally. He doesn't really compete, he trains other strongmen. That's what he gets a buzz out of, which is great. But he's super strong himself, so you wouldn't go to a weak man to learn how to be a strong man, if that makes sense. But with the amount of fat these strong men gain, I just think it's just stupidity. Overeating, gluttony, and maybe the gear that they're taking is affecting their brain, that they need to eat all these calories, they need to take in all these calories. Now, I don't believe that being super heavy makes you super strong. I've met or been in scenarios with people when I was a doorman that were like a rake, really skinny, about 9 stone, and it took 5 of us to get that one person out of the nightclub. So it's not always quantified just by size or arm size. Does that make sense? And that's why if I get into a fight scenario, which I never want to do, if I do, I don't just think I can have that guy because he's skinny. I never think that. I think, right, I'm going to stand off, I'm going to get into a stance, and I'm going to pacify it than rather me hit him. Because if I hit him with 14 stone and he weighs 10 stone, I could end up killing him and end up going to prison. And I never want that. Does that make sense? So let's get back to powerlifting. So Eddie Hall and Thor are having a debate on TikTok. And Thor said Eddie Hall hasn't won enough competitions in which to call himself a genuine strongman. He's only won 1. And this is what I don't understand, is that all the media or the people that are looking after Eddie Hall's media are always saying he's a strongman, he's a strongman, he's a strongman. When really he isn't. He won the trophy once, but hasn't won it since. So is he really proving he's a strongman? The same as if you win the Mr. Olympia, you win it 6 times in a row. So you're a genuine Mr. Olympia. But is Dorian still a Mr. Olympia now? Obviously not. Does that make sense? So should you still call yourself Mr. Olympia? Definitely not. Does that make sense? So I believe that with Eddie Hall, if you look at before and after pictures there, you know, a massive change, unbelievable change with drug use. And if you don't think it's drugs, you need to be woken up. And the same with Thor. Thor has a numbness, palsy on one side of his face. That's caused by drug use, but it's not publicised. Does that make sense? But I believe that Thor is more a recognised strongman because he's always going in for competitions, and Brian Shaw as well. But we can't take away from Eddie Hall. He's a huge guy. He went in, had 2 cage fights and won both of them. And one of them was against 2 guys. So my hat goes off to you, Eddie. I'm not putting you down as such. I'm just saying maybe you need to do more competitions. But it's only little old me, so don't worry about it at all. And then when Eddie Hall had the scenario where just checking my microphone's working, when he was lost it when somebody drove outside his house and they kept driving backwards and forwards and they said some words or whatever. But you're going to get that when you're famous. So you can't expect to be famous and not have hassle. It's part of the fame game. And that's why a lot of them retreat and end up taking drugs and disappear and cover up their faces when they're in the media, because they can't handle the fame. So if you can't handle the fame, don't be famous. But what I don't understand, why didn't he just get on the phone and call the police and get them to sort it out? Why did he even go out there and run after the vehicle? Only somebody that's not in control of their mind would do that. And I know somebody that's on tons of gear and they're always like that. They can't let anything go. And they really put themselves in dodgy positions. Especially if somebody pulls out a knife, it's over, isn't it? Unless you're quick enough to get rid of the knife. Does that make sense? So I feel that Eddie Hall needs to do some more strongman competitions to really cement himself in the strongman world. But that's just my opinion. But Thor, still doing stuff. He's still on gear, obviously. He's huge. He's still always lifting, which is great. And we mustn't miss out Bryant Shaw. You know, Bryant Shaw, huge, huge man. And I love it when Bryant Shaw and Eddie Hall have a bit of debate and, you know, they're doing the gorilla, punching up against each other. I think it's really, really good. And you can see that they're really great friends. Even though one is much littler than the other, and the little one has a bigger ego than the bigger one. And I think that's really, really great. And my hat goes off to Eddie Hall for going in the cage with Prunanovsky and wiped him out, basically. And Prunanovsky was complaining about being hit in the back of the head. And Eddie Hall apologised, but he still won. So that's all that matters, isn't it, at the end of the day? And then when Eddie Hall went in the cage with them two midgets and done them, both of them, that was brilliant as well. So my hat goes off to Eddie Hall for the stuff he's putting out there. But does Thor have a point? Please comment down below and tell me whether you think, does Thor have a point? Does Eddie Hall need to do more strength, more strongman stuff in which to really cement his name in the strongman world? Even though he did one of the biggest lifts ever. I think it's been beaten now, hasn't it? So I hope you've liked this video. Please subscribe, please share, please like, and please check out my shorts as well. Not the shorts that I've got on, but my short videos. And I look forward to chatting to you again soon. Bye.